Hey everyone, and welcome to this explainer. I am so excited to jump into this with you today. We're going to master something absolutely foundational, the vocabulary for our everyday feelings and emotions. You know, being able to pinpoint exactly how we feel, what we want, and what we genuinely enjoy is pretty much the key to connecting with people in English. We're pulling straight from some top-tier vocabulary materials today to make sure you get these exact words and phrases perfectly dialed in. Okay, let's dive into this. I want you to just hit pause for a second. How are you feeling right now, in this exact moment? Can you name that specific state in English? Are you happy? Kind of tired? Maybe a little hungry? Well, by the end of our explainer today, you're going to have the precise vocabulary and the exact grammar rules you need to answer that question with total confidence. So here's our comforting roadmap for today. First, likes, dislikes, and preferences. Second, expressing wants and hopes. Third, physical and emotional states. And finally, avoiding common grammar mistakes. Simple enough, right? Let's get to it. Number 1. Likes, dislikes, and preferences. Let's look at how we express the things we enjoy and the things we really don't. And this brilliantly illustrates that we don't just like or dislike things in a vacuum, there's a whole sliding scale of intensity. At the absolute top, you've got love, like, I love chocolate. Just a step down is really like, I really like football. Then, right in the middle, a simple like, I like it. Now, when we start moving into negative territory, notice the phrasing. Not like naturally becomes, I don't like it very much. And down at the very bottom of the barrel, hate, as in, I hate jazz music. Picking the right verb here is all about matching that exact intensity. Now, here's a super common trap non-native speakers fall into. When you want to emphasize the word like, you might be really tempted to throw in the word very. But saying, I very like football, or I like very much football, yeah, that's incorrect. Instead, you need to use really. It's, I really like football. Just a tiny tweak, but it makes a massive difference in helping you sound perfectly natural. So what happens when you're comparing two things? The verb you're looking for is prefer, but the real secret to using prefer properly is the tiny word connecting your two options, to. So you'd say, I prefer coffee to tea. It's just a clean, elegant way to express a choice, whether you're talking about drinks, hobbies, or literally anything else. Moving right along to our second building block, expressing wants and hopes. Let's talk about our immediate desires. There is a critical difference between want and hope. Think about it. If you're thirsty, that's a direct, immediate physical need for yourself. So you use want. I want a glass of water. But what if a friend feels ill? You can't magically control their health, right? But you strongly desire a positive outcome for them. So you use hope. I hope they get better. Basically, want is for immediate personal desires, while hope is for desired outcomes, especially for other people. Now, when your want involves getting someone else to do something, the grammar can feel a bit tricky. You definitely don't want to say, I want that you help me. Actually, scratch that completely. The correct structure is want plus the person plus the action starting with to. So, I want you to help me. Keep this structure in mind and you'll easily avoid one of the most common grammar mistakes out there. Up next, the third building block, physical and emotional states. We're going to map these out visually now. Imagine literally dreaming of a giant sandwich. When your stomach is completely empty and food is literally the only thing on your mind, that physical feeling is hungry. I am hungry. We've all been there, right? Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how that massive yawn perfectly captures the word tired. When your energy is just completely drained and you desperately need your bed, the phrase is, I am tired. Let's look at a very clear contrast here. If you're shivering and hugging yourself just to stay warm, that's the literal definition of I am cold. But flip the scenario entirely. You're sweating, your face is red, and you're fanning yourself frantically. That right there is exactly what it means to say, I am hot. What about when you have that dry, parched feeling? You're sweating and you absolutely need a drink. Specifically a drink, not food. The exact word you need here is thirsty. I am thirsty. All right, let's shift gears to an emotional state. Think wide eyes, jaw totally dropped, a sudden reaction to something completely unexpected. The vocabulary word for this feeling? Surprised. Of course, there are a bunch of other essential states you'll need for everyday chats. You'll want to lock in emotions like happy when things are great, angry when you're mad, or sad and upset when things aren't going your way. Plus, knowing how to describe your physical health is vital. whether you're feeling ill or feeling well. These are the core building blocks you'll use constantly. And finally, Section 4, avoiding common grammar mistakes. Let's polish up everything we've learned. So, the crucial point is understanding the nuance of prepositions when we use the word happy. If we're talking about an event or a thing, like news, we use about. I am happy about your news. But if the focus shifts to a person and you're directing your joy right at them, you use for. I am happy for you. Let's cement that exact rule so you don't fall into a trap. Saying I am happy for your news is totally incorrect. Since news is a thing, an event, it absolutely has to be I am happy about your news. Keep about for things and for people, and your English is going to sound incredibly sharp. Let's move to and see how this builds into real everyday conversations. When someone asks about someone's physical state, like the question, how's your grandfather? The proper response is, he's very well, thanks. Notice how we use the word well here specifically to indicate good health. And that brings us to the end of today's explainer. We've tackled those intense preferences, immediate wants and hopes, vivid physical states, and the tricky little grammar rules that tie the whole shebang together. So, I want to leave you with a quick challenge to pull it all into one thought. What do you want to do now that you are happy about finishing this lesson? See if you can answer that using the exact structures we covered today. Thanks so much for hanging out with me. Keep practicing those feelings, and I'll catch you in the next explainer.